Hello everyone and welcome to today's Wild Rift video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my top picks for Wild Rift patch 6.1D. Overall, this patch had a lot of big champion changes, over 15 in total. Some good nerfs, some good buffs, but honestly, some buffs to some champions that didn't really deserve it. And they'll be in my list for today's video. And you'll see that some of these champions will be absolutely crazy in this new patch. If you enjoy the content on this channel and enjoy Wild Rift content, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do Wild Rift content every day, from patch rundowns to new builds to meta changes and more. The first champion I want to talk about is Darius. Darius, in my opinion, was already a very strong champion, a champion that has great 1 versus 9 potential. If you know how to stack up his passive, he gains a lot of damage, but also his attack damage gets boosted when he gets 4 stacks of his passive. Both of this got buffed in this patch, so the base damage has now been increased from the passive, the bleed damage, and the attack damage boosted with 4 stacks has also been increased. You can also now play Darius jungle. It's a lot more viable now with the passive now dealing more damage to monsters. I still think Baron lane Darius is going to be the way to go. Everyone's tried it. Everyone's tried to kill Darius in early levels. But honestly, once Darius reaches level 2, he could just run you down with ghosts, stack up his passive, and sometimes even kill you. I'm sure a lot of you have witnessed that scenario of being run down by a Darius and dying as early as level 2. And that's going to be even scarier in this patch. So definitely a champion to keep an eye on. I was also going to highlight Fiora. I'll just do an honorable mention for Fiora as well. I think Fiora is also going to be a very good pick in the Baron lane this patch with the adjustments to her first ability. Her ultimate bug now finally being fixed. Even though they did nerf a little bit of her base damage on her lunge, I still think that it's going to be a lot more viable now to play Fiora in the Baron lane. And now she can shine and become a split push beast in the late game. Nunu's another champion, in my opinion, that didn't really deserve a buff. I think this champion was already very strong. Some of you might have seen him in the jungle. A lot of you in high elo, if you watch my videos, you'll see Nunu support a lot. And these buffs are going to help both Nunu jungle and Nunu support. One of the main reasons why Nunu supports work so well in high elos is because not a lot of enchanters get played in high elos. It's a lot of these tank junglers like Nautilus, which you'll see later on in today's video, Leona and other champions, which Nunu does excellent against. Any of these melee champions, Nunu can use his third ability, uses ultimate as a zone control as well. Now he gets more bonus shield value from his ultimate, which is going to scale with his bonus health. If you build him in jungle, if you play him in support, both these roles are going to be building Nunu as a tank. So now you're dealing more damage with your first ability. You're not going to get bonus health regeneration as well based on more of your bonus health. So overall, Nunu buffs were very, very nice. Doesn't really help too much in terms of his jungle clear, but it was already very fast. But if you like to snowball early on, if you like to try and gank and try and get an advantage for your team with the ganking potential for Nunu, he's one of the best champions to play in the jungle. He's one of the only real tank junglers with a Mumu and Rammus that can really be viable. But I honestly think that these buffs are going to help support Nunu more than jungle Nunu, because support Nunu was already very strong and on my hot list. And now it's going to be even stronger after these buffs. Ori is a champion that has honestly a lot of playmaking potential. Her early game is not really that strong. I've been playing her a little bit recently. Her early game is still fairly weak. You struggle a little bit, even if you hit your charm early on. But these buffs are going to help Ori both in the early game and in the late game now. And her late game was already very strong. When you build Malignance, when you have your ultimate, when you have that playmaking potential of dashing forward, charming a high value target and pretty much one-shotting them, she was already very strong. So now they're just going to make her even stronger with these changes. Her base stats going up, her base health going from 600 to 630. This is going to help her a lot during the laning phase. Means that she can trade a little bit more easier and she's not going to be as squishy. Her first ability, even though the base value didn't get increased, you now get a 5% increase on her ability power. So more ability power you buy, the more damage you're going to be doing now with your first ability, which will help a little bit in the early game because you're still building ability power with boots and Malignance. But again, the more ability power you buy, the stronger this ability is going to become. And also, you always max this as the first go-to. So this is always going to do the most amount of damage. It's going to help you with wave clear. It's going to help you in team fights. It's going to help a lot. And it means that Malignance is going to be more viable now. Some people with Ahri actually go for Ludens to help with the wave clear, but now with Orb of Deception being buffed, this will hopefully help Ahri's laning phase and help her wave clear so you can build other playmaking items instead. And the second ability now is just absolutely broken. I don't know what this was, but now the target searching range will now be temporarily increased if Ahri hits a basic attack or a charm. So now it's going to fire out quicker as well on the second ability. So honestly, I think these changes didn't really need to happen to Ahri, but now you can just basic attack, use your second ability. It has the increased range, so now it's always going to guarantee hit on enemy champions. You're not going to hit it on a minion or monster instead because you're outside of the range. And also when you hit your charm as well, it means that the damage is going to come out much quicker and you can deal a lot more burst damage. So overall, I think Ahri is going to be the best mid lane pick for this patch. With Corki finally being nerfed, I think this is Ezreal's time to shine in the Dragon lane. He was kind of being overshadowed by Corki because they build very similarly with this Manimune plus 24 build, and you always felt like you did more damage with Corki. But now I think with the nerfs coming in with Corki, I think Ezreal is going to be the best Dragon lane champion to play. It's probably one of the most difficult to play since he's focused a lot on his abilities and landing his abilities and his skill shots. But once you have a basic understanding of Ezreal, once you know how to hit your abilities, Ezreal can be a great champion to play. He's one of the safest champions to play with his third ability, which can also be reduced in cooldown if you hit your other abilities. Laning phase is also still really good as well. You have the increased damage from Conqueror, and also when you have an engaged support with you, it means it makes it easier for you to land some of your abilities. I think there'll be other champions that might be very strong this patch, like Samira Boss look very, very nice if you're playing duo queue with a tank support. Severa is always going to be a great pick, as well as Miss Fortune. So I think the AD carry pool in general is going to be much better now with Corki finally being nerfed. He was by far the best ADC to play, but now with that being nerfed, I think Ezreal is going to be the best, but follow closely behind by the likes of Varus, Severe, and also Miss Fortune. And lastly, the support. Yeah, this is the most disgusting change I think I've ever seen in Wild Rift in a long time. Nautilus was already one of, if not the best tank supports to play in the current meta. And what they're doing is they're giving him more tanky stats and they're giving him a crazy amount of damage. His base health going up by 8 per level means he gets around 100 HP at maximum level, if not more. The armor per level also going up as well means he's going to be getting an extra 10 armor at maximum level. But the big thing really is the base damage. The first ability base damage going up by 20 at every single rank, and the third ability the base damage going up by 10. But you have to remember, this is from each wave, and each wave deals damage every single time. It's going to be reduced damage, but you're probably going to be getting around 20 to 30 extra damage on the third ability. So this is going to help Nautilus if he hooks in the early game, or even just for damage in team fights as well. He already did quite a lot of damage. He was already very tanky as a support, but now we're just making him completely broken this patch for some reason, which I have no idea why. But another way you could play Nautilus as well, which I think is going to be one of the best ways to go for Nautilus now, is Nautilus jungle. I think Nautilus is going to be crazy strong in the jungle. His first ability damage going up, his third ability damage going up, which normally this is the ability that you want to max first. His jungle clear speed just got so much quicker. He's kind of a one-dimensional champion when it comes to jungle. You know, you ulti one target, you try and burst one target, and then you don't really have any abilities left. But if you can catch a high value target out, or you catch the enemy jungler out with your first ability and your ultimate, you could do so much damage with this champion. And like I said, with the damage being buffed on his first ability and his third ability, his burst damage just got even stronger. And that's going to do it for my picks for patch 6.1D. As I mentioned, overall I think this patch is pretty good. I just think that there are some champions that didn't really deserve buffs, but I think they're just going to be very strong in this patch. If there are champions that you think I missed out on, maybe champions you feel like are going to be really strong after the buffs in the most recent patch, let me know down in the comments. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.